after taking some time to be able to digest, watch film, anything else that stands out from the Michigan State game?
No, I was impressed with the effort our kids put forth. I thought that after the game. I think it after watching the film. We were 1-2 plays away from winning the thing, and I was proud of our kids for getting us in a position where we had a chance to win it. Said before the game we probably need to hit 1 or 2 big shots on them at some point in the game. We had a couple chances on that, and as it turns out, we only needed 1 more. And that's kind of how those games go when it's 2 good teams.
After the game, Vernon put a lot of it on himself, saying, I need to be better, I need to do this. How have you seen him reacting and responding in practice?
Our whole team's going to respond well. First of all, when you have high character people, everybody tends to internalize it and blame themselves. I blame myself, Coach Helfrich blames himself, and Vernon blames himself. I think there's all a couple of things that each one of us could have done better that would have helped flip it the other way, and it wouldn't have taken much. But our whole team reacted well today and came out and had a good practice.
Are some of those missed opportunities more on preparation or just on the players not making the plays when they need to on the field?
I don't think it's either. I think you have chances to make those plays. You know, there was one play, we had a deep ball to Charles, and it was there, and their DB made a great play. We had another deep opportunity chance, and one of their D linemen kind of got in Vernon's way, and he had to reset his feet and threw it late, and it got picked. Had one at the end of the game that we missed by a yard. You know, so it wasn't anybody not executing. It was just, you know, you got to catch some breaks and have a couple of those plays hit.
Scott, you've said all along that you thought Marcus was going to do well in the NFL, but were even you surprised this first game that, you know, all rookies seem to struggle early on, and he seemed to be like an old pro yesterday at least?
Yeah, nothing Marcus does surprises me. I'm just surprised more people didn't see it.
Vernon Adams limited a little bit on his ability to run the option. His fingernails hurting, but I haven't seen him run a read option very often.
Well, they weren't going to give us read option. Their ends were sitting and making us hand everything off, so they took read option off the table to some degree. And I thought Vernon did a good job running it when he had opportunities to. We were close to getting in the end zone a couple times with him. I know he scored once running, so I feel pretty good about what he's doing with his feet.
What are your impressions of Georgia State so far on film?
Georgia State's athletic. I think they made huge improvement from game 1 to game 2. They're scheme-wise on defense fairly similar to us. They're an odd team that jumps in and out of odd and even fronts. So hopefully our experience in fall camp with our own defense will give us a little bit of a leg up.
Did Vernon Adams' comments after the game resonate with you of trying to take the blame on him for that loss?
I didn't hear what Vernon said after the game. Like I said, I think anybody who's a high-character individual is going to look at himself first and see what he could have done to be better. I feel bad for Vernon. You know, we don't talk about injuries around here, but he wasn't at his best in that game, and that's not an excuse. You won't find one game in college football where there isn't somebody that's playing partially hurt. But that was a big stage for him to be on and not be full speed, and I thought he performed pretty well.
Did you see any of Marcus's highlights from yesterday?
Yeah, I had the game on while I was game planning for Georgia State, and he looked great.
Is it nice to see, though, an NFL staff kind of adapt some of the things that fit his skill set instead of, you know, putting a round peg into a square hole?
Well, I mean, he did some things similar to what we did here. He also did some things that were big-time NFL throws, so I don't want to diminish from what he did by, you know, saying they only did Oregon things and made it easy for him. I think when you got a weapon like that, you can do a lot of things.
With the college football playoff in play, a loss in the regular season maybe isn't as devastating as it possibly could be. Do you guys take that into account and talk about the big picture with your team?
No, I mean, everybody has a big picture in the back of their minds, but we really do look at it one game at a time. You know, it's one of the few games in the preseason where I think it was 2 really good teams playing each other. Last year, we made a few plays and won it. This year, they made a few plays and held us off. Season's not over. We're definitely going to try to rebound from this, and the Ducks are going to fly again.
Scott.
What were they doing specifically to kind of take away Dwayne on the outside during that game?
You know, they play press man on the outside. It's quarters coverage, but they press and lock their corners on the outside. You know, we made some plays on it. It just didn't happen to be Dwayne. we don't look to get the ball to any one receiver. We're just going to throw to who's open. Dwayne was open a few times and we didn't get the ball to him, or got it to somebody else in the progression before we got to him. We probably weren't expecting Braylon to have that big a game, and he's the guy that the ball found in that game. So proud of Braylon, pleased to see him have that kind of game, and Dwayne's time's coming again.
What kind of benefits have you seen for Vernon having a veteran backup like Jeff Lockie helping out mentally?
Yeah, having Jeff helps, and there's a few situations that we tried to throw something new at Vernon during the game to try to make adjustments, and experience helps. So I'm sure as we keep going through the season, having Jeff by his side and having more experience will help him adapt a little quicker to some of those things.
Is there one more question?
Is there any benefit to, just with seeing that Vernon's gotten banged up at some point, to get Jeff any meaningful snaps in a game?
Yeah, we're always ready to play Jeff. I feel great about Jeff being in there if and when that happens, and we'll take it as it comes.